Our show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Kaylin Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums Earwear.
Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. 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 Hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move, 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 move. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB, the sports guy. We got a good show for you all tonight at 8 o'clock. The head coach of the Peabody War Horses football team and former LSU standout Coach Harry Coleman is going to join us to talk about how it felt and his reactions to being taken out of the Division II Select playoffs. We'll get to that at 8 o'clock. We're going to talk about Hornville versus Chalmette, the controversy that is going on with that. We'll recap the games from last week, and we will do our picks tonight because tomorrow night we will be off. No show tomorrow night. Thanksgiving holidays. I felt like being nice to these two guys. That's always been there for me. But but you guys know I cannot do this without my co-host. First, everybody that's watching the show right now, get on your feet, cut some cake if you got it, blow out a candle for the birthday boy himself, the one and only VK Jones. Happy birthday, my brother.
Hey man, thank you so much, man. It's a blessing, man. Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash Out Show, all social media platforms. But it's a blessing to wake up and see 46. Thank the Lord for that and everything. I had an early ice cream and cake from my mom and my daughter this morning before I had to go to practice with Pratchett Tail and everything before we let the kids out for their break until they come back for Sunday and everything. So, it's been a blessing today, getting a lot of birthday wishes everywhere from my house, from my own home to my teammate, my players, to coaches, and to you guys, to all the people, social media, and everything else. Thank you very much. 46, Devin, 46, 46. But it's all good, man. But I'm very, very happy so far. I've been through a lot of things in my life and everything, still going through it. But, by God's grace, I'm going to make it through. And I'm going to keep pushing and grinding and continue to put this Hash It Out Show on the map and try to get myself together. And Devin, thanks for the compliment, man. I appreciate it. I think a lot of people say that. A lot of people be shocked sometimes that they can't believe that I'm that old. And it was like, what? You're 45, you're 46. Like, we thought you was 31 or something. We thought you was 30. So, so I get that a lot. But I definitely appreciate the support by everybody.
And also, we got the one and only George GP Peppers. What's up, GP?
What's up, JB? VK? I echo the sentiments, and I left you a voicemail this morning,
I
wishing you
appreciate
a
that.
happy birthday. And dude, look, and I thought you was 21 and holding, but hey, 46 is 46, right? Look, like I said, I'm gonna say it out here. May God bless you with many more days like this. May God see many more blessings for you as we travail through the course of life. 46. Enjoy this day and the many blessings it has bestowed upon you. You're here with us tonight, and it's gonna be a great night. And we got a lot to get to, Jared. Let's go.
Oh, we got a lot to get to, and we're gonna start off with Hornville. But everybody telling VK happy birthday, so I wanna show it all right now, man. I want to show it all with VK, all the love he getting. Jordan Taylor saying happy birthday. Devin
Uh,
Stibe,
the bald and the
Troy,
beautiful, yes, indeed.
yeah, the bald and beautiful, yeah, yeah. Troy
Yes, indeed.
Narcisse, oh man, just the
Thank
love for
you, Pastor.
VK coming through. Charles Allen,
I had like over 100 something uh comments so far on my social media. I might have more than that now. So it's
Probably.
amazing stuff. And I'm like this. I'm gonna say this, guys, and I ain't gonna. It's on y'all guys on this chat and on the show. If you want to bless me with a little
He's
something,
about to give his cash app.
I'm like
yeah, he
this.
about to do it.
I,
He
I,
about to do
I
it for
know.
real.
I
I
might
know.
as well. See,
Hey,
it's a birthday,
hey,
for
it's
my
good.
birthday.
It's good, dude. It's your day,
I,
bro. It's your day.
I'm like this.
Do it you.
Dollar sign VK Jones 504.
Coach McLeod in the building. VK, Coach
V
McLeod. What's up,
Appreciate
Coach?
it, coach. Appreciate it.
Definitely.
VK is dollar sign VK Jones 504. If you want to bless me with any little thing, dollar, whatever else from my birthday, it's all to the cool. If you don't have it, it's all gravy. Appreciate your wishes.
All right.
Hmm.
The man says blessing with a few dollars.
Listen, it's
All
brother works hard, man. You know what I'm saying. But if you don't, it's all right. It's okay. Your wishes is enough.
right. Let's get to it now. We're gonna start off with Hornville versus Chalmette. And if you guys haven't seen what happened, let me take you to it. Let's go back a couple days. Let's go back to Tiger Stadium in Booty, Louisiana, as I am going to let the one and only Derek Raymond talk you
Legendary.
through it. We'll start with the game-winning touchdown, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
All right, so I went to the Hornville Chalmette playoff game last night, and good thing I recorded it because they did have a controversial game-winning touchdown by Chalmette. Everybody was debating if the kid feet was in bounds when he caught the pass. But looking back at it, I did think his feet was in bounds, but I see he didn't even catch the ball. He didn't complete the catch going to the ground. The ball popped out. So, yeah, that's a tough loss for Hornville. They did have a referee that was right there. I thought he was close enough to see that, but still called it a touchdown.
All right. So there you have it. That was the game-winning touchdown for Chalmette. Now, Hornville did drive the length of the field under a minute, and the last play from the 6-yard line was an incomplete pass to one of the receivers. Chalmette wins. But I don't know how the ref missed this one. I really don't know how. You got a ref at the goal line. You have a back ref also. So my question is, how with two refs right there didn't get this right? Now, I'm going to say this. The ref on the sideline, I promise you, he's probably looking at the feet the whole time. Didn't even look at the possession of the ball. The back judge needs to be looking also. And then let's have the conference. It's clear as day that that ball was incomplete, as you saw in the video. Now, here y'all go. I'm gonna put it up, man. I'm gonna put it up. All right. I'm gonna put it up for you. But I'm gonna put it in the ticker, okay? Put in the ticker. But look, that call has to be right in that situation. Ref make mistakes, ref makes bad calls. We get it. But that moment right there, two officials had to see that that ball was incomplete. Easy as day. There's no possession whatsoever. And I feel bad for Hornville. They not coming out. The players and coaches not coming out and saying they got robbed. They're not saying it. It's the fans that are saying it. Coach Boyne put out a good post about, you know, his main goal of developing young players and to become young, great men. He put out a post like that. Perfect. Perfect. But I can sit here and say, yo, y'all missed that call. That call should have been made. That is an incomplete pass. Now, we get to the next one in a little bit, but I'm going to get my guys' point of view on what they just saw and what they think. But that call there, you got to make that call correct, man. Two officials right there. You got to see everything through, George Peppers.
Here's where I'm going to draw some detractors. Instant replay needs to happen in high school football to eliminate this.
Yeah, but
This
every high school don't have the technology. Everyone's not streaming. You
no.
only see that at an LSU
Okay.
stadium, a college stadium, or the Superdome. You won't see it at
Okay.
a high school stadium here.
Here's the thing. How many schools locally stream? You got VSN, you got Yearview, you got us, you got Crescent City, you got numerous entities that stream games. I can promise you the populace of streams is in excess of 80%. I promise you, under the lights also. All the every entity streams. So if a referee needs to go, if there's an inconclusive call, this there's nothing inconclusive about this. The dude never, at any point, had possession of the football. At any point, it slithered through his chest, through his stomach, and rolled under his hand onto the ground. It is clear as day, and I'm not. I'm short sighted. I'm nearsighted. Okay, and yeah, I'll critique that. There has to be some of accountability for an egregious call because, yeah, Harnville drove the length of the field and got to the six and had a chance to win it, but they didn't. And you're going to hear them, well, they still had a chance. Doesn't happen if you make the call correct. If you make the correct call, Harnville's ahead 31-28. Was that a fourth down play? If I remember right.
I don't know if that was a fourth down play, but the play we're gonna show next, that was a fourth down play.
Okay, but I'm asking because if that's a fourth down or the end zone play, okay, that changes the course of the game. That finishes it pretty much because Harnville's got the ball with a minute to go, VK, and we're talking about Harnville at Neville this week and what potentially would have been interesting. Not look, let me not say this. Let's not dissuade shot. They have battled their way through these playoffs. They
No,
have
not at
knocked their
all.
way.
Not at all. This is not.
No,
This is not
at all.
to put down Chalmette at all because this is something that doesn't
It's not their
involve
fault.
them. This is just the referee. Correct. Correct.
And I want to emphasize that on behalf of the three of us. We're not going to sit here and bash Chalmette for getting to the quarterfinal. They deserve this opportunity. Why? They knocked off Terrebonne as a 24. They were a 24 going to Hanville. They weren't given a lot of a chance to win either game. But guess what? They're playing this week at Neville. Now, they're probably not going to be, let's be quite frank, they're probably not going to be given much of a chance going all the way to Monroe. But guess what? The opportunity is theirs, VK, to play on Thanksgiving week. And Jason Tuckerham, I promise you, is not apologizing for it. Their head coach and their players and their fans. They're not apologizing for what happened, and they don't have to. They do not have to. And for anybody who wants to talk that noise, don't do it. Please don't. Quit while you're behind and whatnot. Now I know there's another play JB's going to show with VK, dude. Chalmette should. At the point of it is Chalmette does not need to apologize for this at all.
No, they don't need to apologize at all. And at the same time, they should have not. They should have definitely conferenced. I don't know if instant replay is going to happen. Like you're right, George. There's a lot of people that has streams and everything else everywhere. It's amazing now that it's like more of the competition or whatever you could say. But yeah, there's a lot of availability of streams. But you're going to have to really maybe hire an extra person or something if you do replay to have replay machines and something like that in the stadiums. You know what I'm saying? If that happens, but I don't think it's gonna happen because that's a lot more money you got to add on to it. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the LHSA. So, it's the fact that the officials that was right there in the end zone need to be held accountable a little bit for that because they should at least had a conference. Now I can see it; they would have still been a bad call after the conference. At least they had the conference, but regardless, it's not the right call. But for them to just stick to their convictions, wow, you know what I'm saying? It's just for the winning touchdown in itself. But I think looking at one of the comments, one of our people, JP Solis, hit it on the mark.
Yeah.
Don't leave the game in the refs' hands. Hanville had a lead, had maybe a double-digit lead,
They did that one time.
and
Yes.
and you let it go. You can't do that. When the game gets tight, something's gonna happen. You gotta find a way to put games away. You have to
Mm-hmm.
find a way to put it away, regardless of the bad call. You have to find a way to put it away so this stuff won't happen. And it's unfortunate that it happens that way, even in comeback games.
I do have
Even
to
in
interject. I do interject. Have to interject one thing. The games that we've done in these playoffs, and that totals 4. We've seen calls made by officials that weren't on the spot of the call. In all the games that we've done these playoffs, we have seen calls that have been made by officials that weren't on top of the play. They were made by the back judge when the play was far away from him. They were made by officials that were not in position to make the call. And to me, that speaks, Jared, of the inconsistencies of these officials. Now, mind you, to all of you that don't really know out there, officials for these games are neutral. In other words, the game in Harville is not going to be officiated by the Bayou refs, by the river parishes. It's going to be by somebody from not familiar with the area. That's what they call degree of neutrality. All right. So every game going in the playoffs is officiated that way. But that being said, we have seen this a lot in these playoffs, Jared. We have seen this a lot where calls were made by officials not on top of the play. And that to me needs to be at least a conference has to be made in an attempt to get this right.
I agree. I agree. And that's what I'm talking about with the two judges, the two refs on the sideline and a back judge. Like somebody had to see that ball come out. And there was no conference that happened. So that's what shocks me even more. Like y'all have to have eyes on the play. And I'm just shocked that, you know, this was called a touchdown right then and there. And I'm sure that this video was sent to the LHSAA. I'm sure it was. I'm sure they looked at it. But what can they do about it? There's nothing they can do. Just like the New Orleans Saints, 2019, the infamous no call. That should have been pass interference. That took away the Saints' chances of going to the Super Bowl. That was a game deciding moment right there. What could the NFL do? There's nothing they could do. The game is over. So, you feel bad for Hornville. And I mean, man, my timeline from a bunch of Hornville people that I know, this video went viral just like that. I didn't know nothing about it until I saw that video. And I was like, wow, how
this
was that call missed? Go ahead, VK.
this is one of the second. This is like almost the second time Hanville was caught, not caught, but really involved in something controversial. They was involved in something controversial, and I'm gonna say it was around 2013 when Hanville played at Berman Stadium against Old Perry Walker, and it was a close. Was it Old Perry Walker or Landry Walker? I think it was Landry Walker at the time. Or no, it was Old Perry Walker at the time, either 2012 or 2013, 2012. They played each other, and it was a close ball game, and the game went to overtime. And then all of a sudden, I think the way it was looking, Old Perry Walker scored on the first possession, but missed the extra point. Hanville came right down, and I believe it was a running back or the quarterback trying to run it in. He fumbled the ball in the end zone,
Mm-hmm.
and Old Perry Walker recovered it. They recovered it. Game's supposed to be over. They said that the runner was down. Next play, Hanville scores the touchdown, kicked it, game winning extra point, and Emmanuel Powell goes completely nuts. after the game, all that stuff. That was something else that night, you
Mm.
know. So looking at it all these years later, and this time it goes the other way with Hanville being at home and everything else. I mean, wow, you know, it's just a fact. You know, people got to, you know, sometimes you got to be, you know, officials gonna have to be held accountable for that mistake. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You know, for that to happen all these years later, and this time going the other way, and you know, it's unbelievable that, like I said, both of them should have been. Both officials should have had a conference and looked at this whole thing, because it's obvious when you look at the whole, and I give Derek Raymond a lot of credit breaking it down, and I think he did it. If he edited that video to the T to go close like that, big shout out to him, man. He's not just a legend at Hanville. You know what I'm saying? That's big time for him to just break it to the T. So man, but that's you know, I really feel bad for Hanville myself too. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the fact, you know, Chalmette getting to the quarterfinals for the first time in a
Yeah,
very,
since
very long
1960
time.
something, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then the first time in 29 years to win back to back road playoff games.
yeah,
So, you know, it's amazing for them. And but yeah, a lot of controversy. I know you got another call,
yeah. I got another one.
another one. So
Yeah,
let's
but
take a look.
Jason Holmes says they human and make mistakes, and we also have a philosophy that we go by that not many people know about. So I'm taking Jason Holmes as a
Comment.
referee.
Probably is a referee,
Okay,
yes.
so oh yeah, refs make mistakes. I said that's the first thing I say. Even said refs make mistakes.
Straight up.
They make bad calls. It happens. It's part of sports. Part of sports. Basketball, uh, football. It's part of sports, and this will happen all the time. And this won't be the last time we talk about something like this. It ain't the first time.
No,
But
for real.
in this situation, with this player catching the ball going out of bounds, this sideline ref is right there at the pylon. He should have saw
Make
that
the
ball
call.
come out. He should have saw that ball come out. I sat here and given the benefit of the doubt, saying he was looking probably at his feet to see if his feet was in. But a back judge also should have saw this. It didn't happen. Somebody should have saw that. That's what I'm saying. I think most of us here is in agreement. Devin Stibe is in agreement with us. Um, yeah, it had that many eyes. Yeah. So it happened, but then something led up to the touchdown happening. And I want to get to it right quick. So let me share the screen one more time. And let me get to the next video, wherever it is. There it is.
In this second video is a 4th down Hornville got a stop on that would have won the game for him, but referee, I believe it's the same referee, threw a flag for pass interference. I don't see a pass interference on this play, so yeah, man, it is what it is.
Wow.
All right. I'm sorry. That wasn't pass interference. I totally disagree with that call also. That was not pass interference. Credit Jacob Jeffrey with the pass breakup. I don't know what the refs saw on that play. I don't. I can respectfully disagree with the call he made, which I am. I'm saying that's not pass interference, George Peppers.
Where's the contact? That's what I want to know. I saw two defenders playing the ball, and there was no contact to the man. That was an easy sell by the Chalmette receiver to get the call, because you saw their sideline erupt the second he went down. They were looking for it, and they got it. Again, that's a call that would have finished the game. That
That's
would have
fourth
finished
down.
the game.
That's fourth down right there.
Exactly. That's ball game. and Hahnville wins it, and they go to Neville. Simple as that. They would have ran the clock out, bled it out, and won the ball game. We talk about officials not being bigger than the game. What we just saw are two egregious examples of officials ingratiating themselves and determining the outcome of a football game. You had the touchdown that was obviously not. Two officials were right on top of it. They made a mistake. Then you get a pass interference. It might be coincidental. Yeah, I see
They
where
were.
that
They were.
they were, but I feel like there's a conspiratorial tone to that statement, and I don't want to go there. Um, But VK, this pass interference is non-existent in my book. I didn't see any contact. I didn't see defensive holding. I didn't see any of the two Hahnville players covering the receiver. I saw no hands on the Chalmette receiver at all. And I saw both guys playing the ball. They were playing the ball. They saw him go up, they went up. That's how you play corner. Go up when you see the receiver's guys, when you see the receiver's eyes go up, you go up. That's how you play corner. And they did what they were supposed to. Again, these officials missed it. Again, I don't know where these guys were from, but this was a gross miscarriage of justice on this call because that finishes the game, VK, and Hahnville's on their way to the quarters, and it's not happening.
We seen something kind of similar last week on one of the calls.
At the end of the game.
It was that or the other game, either one. But it's just the fact we seen something similar to it, and it's just the fact that it was great coverage, and the fact that all of a sudden he throws the flag about maybe 2 seconds. Oh, right after the play was over. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just the fact that that's just good coverage. You can't throw a flag like that, and it's the same thing we're seeing in this particular call. I mean, I know he had his hand right there in his pocket, but that's what you're supposed to do. Just prepare to throw it if you need to. But at the same time, I mean no, that's terrible. That's really terrible. I'm sorry. It's supposed to be ball game. That is absolutely supposed to be ball game, and that gave Chalmette probably the biggest break of the year because that's just what it is. Not smearing anything
Mm-mm.
to Chalmette at all. They have been having an outstanding second half to the year of what they're doing right now, winning a third straight district championship and getting to the quarters. At the same time, that right there, any team can get a huge break like that in a game. So that is, but I hope they can straighten it out. But like I said, somebody need to be accountable. That's just you can't have that. Not late in the game. Not like that.
Well, I mean, like I said, I disagree with both calls respectfully,
Yes,
and I know they make mistakes. I know they make mistakes,
absolutely.
but that touchdown play, that for sure, that for sure should have been caught waved off. But it is what it is. It happens, and like I said, we're not trying to slam Chalmette because this is had nothing to do with them at all. Nothing to do with them at all. They are playing to move to the semifinals now, as they will be facing Neville this Friday night. So, fellas, we're gonna do our picks after our interview with Coach Harry Coleman. We'll have Coach Harry Coleman on for about 20 minutes, but I want to go back and look, and I want to recap the games from last week. I'm going to start with non-select Division 4. I'm gonna put it up here in a second. Be patient with me, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Fronta, he said the state of officials in Louisiana had dropped drastically in the last few years. Saying due to the shortage or the way they are refereeing games, Coach? Which one? Just want to make sure.
I think he's talking. I think most likely he's talking about the shortage
I
because
think
there's been
he is
shortage
too.
every. They've been
I
shortage
just want
all
to
over the country.
make sure that that's what he's talking about because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Right. Right. Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna start with Division 4 non-select. Haynesville defeat Montgomery 61-0. Welch had the bye due to the forfeit from Faraday and Lake Arthur. So this Friday night is Haynesville versus Welsh. General Trask wins big over North Iberville 38-6. And Jeanerette wins big over Grand Lake 46-24, which will set up General Trask traveling to Jeanerette. Franklin, the 19th seed, a 3-point win over the 3 seed, the Quincy, and Logan Sport, big over Elton. So that sets up Franklin traveling to Logan Sport. Mangum, big over West St. John, and South Plaquemines defeat East Feliciana. That's our show game of the week this Friday night. Mangum versus South Plaquemines. All right. As we move on to Division 4 select, Vermilion Catholic, big over Westminster Christian. And St. Martin's loses to St. Edmund 78-37. And that is your Under the Lights game of the week this Friday night that our good friends Jordan, Taylor, and company will be calling, as Vermilion Catholic will host St. Edmund. Ascension Episcopal lost to Kentwood, and Southern Lab defeated St. Frederick. We get the Kentwood Southern Lab matchup again in the quarters. Covenant Christian over Central Catholic, and Washita Christian over Catholic Point Coupe. We get Covenant Christian and Washita Christian. Riverside big over Hamilton Christian, and Ascension Catholic big over Opelousas Catholic. Is Riverside and Ascension Catholic. VK, Dedrick Lasty versus Chad Elzy. Battle of two great running backs. What can you say right quick about this matchup?
That is going to be very good, a very awesome matchup. You know, it will remind you of St. Martin's and Riverside earlier this year. I mean, how Harlan Berry and Dedrick Lasty put on one of the best shows we've seen all year long, and we're going to see another one on Friday night, and it's going to be as good as that one. So it's going to be a great ball game. It is going to come down to the wire, and I think it's going to be like who's going to have the ball last. So that's going to be pretty much how this game is going to go coming up on Friday.
George Peppers, your thoughts about this game?
That's going to be one of the better ones on the night. Well, of course, we have the good one. But you got feature talents like that. That's worth the price of admission. And how about, to me, who's going to be the unsung person in here? And that's the quarterback for Riverside, Brock Bourgeois. Maybe he makes it. Maybe he makes a difference, because to me, it's apples and oranges when you talk about LZ and Lasty. Somebody else is going to have to up their game for one of these teams to win it. And I'm not tipping my hand or anything like that. I just mentioned Brock because he's a good quarterback at Riverside and Ascension. You know that has got a good team, and this can be a great matchup. VK's right. This thing's going to come to the wire. I think last team with the ball win it.
Okay. Division 3, non-select. St. James over Donaldsonville, and Pine over Kaplan. That sets up St. James versus Pine. Union Parish big over Red River, and Kinder defeats Westlake. So that sets up Union Parish versus Kinder. Oak Grove big over Mansfield. Lakeside loses to Sterlington. We got Oak Grove and Sterlington. Gina big over Port Allen, and Lauraville gets revenge on Erat, defeating them by 21. Gina versus Lauraville. George, what are your thoughts about Oak Grove and Sterlington?
That's a state championship game in the quarterfinals. It's a shame somebody's going to go home here, but this is a state championship caliber football game. I think this is going to be an outstanding test for both teams. Oak Grove, of course, the reigning champions in Division 4. They can't repeat. Well, they can repeat, but in a different class because they moved up to 3. Sterlington is what they are. They will smash it. They will pound it down, pound that rock. This is going to be a classic old school football game, VK. I like this matchup a lot. It's a matchup worthy of the Dome, but sadly we get it here in the quarterfinals.
Very much agreed, man. I mean, these are two, really good traditions in itself. Sterlington has, I think Sterlington has proved a lot of people wrong. You know what I'm saying? They
Yep.
played a very, very tough schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They are a really good team. They, do they have a chance against Oak Grove? Yes, they do. They are. I'll tell you, Oak Grove, now they're stepping up in classification. That's going to be a huge test for them too, to see if they step up in class and try to win a state championship, since they've been ruling the roost for a long time in the lower classifications. So it's going to be a hell of a ball game. That's going to be an absolute war on Friday.
All right. Division 3 select Dunham, big over Parkview Baptist 42-0. Lafayette Christian gets revenge over Notre Dame 35-28. Bunkie, big over Amite 39-14. Jewel Sumner, big over Slaughter Community 48-28. To the bottom side of the bracket, Calvary Baptist, big over De La Salle 38-0. Episcopal defeats Pope John Paul II 24-7. Catholic of New Iberia over North Lake Christian 59-22. And Isidore Newman, big over the Auburn Woods 49-19. VK, Bunkie, excuse me, not Bunkie, Dunham and Lafayette Christian. It seems like Lafayette Christian has found its rhythm. They have found their stride now. But now you're going to take on the number 1 rated quarterback in the nation for 2027 in Elijah Haven. Your thoughts about this matchup? Could LCA pull off this upset?
I think LCA has a good chance of getting to get there and everything else. They have played a tough schedule and everything. The question is, I don't know. The only I don't know if I want to give you the answer now.
No. Don't give me an answer now. Just your thoughts.
Well, my thoughts is, I think LCA, they have a puncher's chance. They do. They do, because they play a tough schedule. They're getting along really, really good. But I think it's going to really come down to the wire. It's going to be that good. It's going to be a shootout. And at the same time, Dunham is hungry.
Mm-hmm.
Dunham is hungry. They've been digging and digging and digging, and they're one of them. They're one of them teams that didn't really have a breakout game yet, and they're looking to try to get a statement, to make a huge statement. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think this is going to be a very interesting game Friday.
George Peppers.
Tantalizing matchup, because Lafayette Christian, I think, has found their stride, guys. I feel like that once they realized the coach they had through the first one wasn't working, they figured it out. Good administrations do that, and they figured out what's going on. I think they started to click, and then VK mentioned that's going to prep them for the playoff. And you talk about Dunham being hungry. Let's not forget, they were a fourth quarter collapse from winning the state title a couple of years ago against St. Charles. They had St. Charles dead to rights in the fourth quarter, and St. Charles chased them down. Big fourth quarter stops by the Comets defense, fought Dunham, and got the win. And Dunham is remembering this, and they've got a real chance to make amends. This is going to be look. A lot of these quarterfinal games that we're going to pick and preview are great. I wanted to touch on Bunkie just a quick second. Not that they blew out a. It's not that they won. It's the margin. That's an announcement. That's an announcement. And I think that's an underrated game at Jewel Sumner Friday night. Jewel Sumner has been under the radar all year long, and Bunkie as well. This is going to the semifinal on this side of the bracket. Who's here? Holy cow! That is going to be popcorn, Pepsi, all that stuff. That's going to be made for TV because, well, I say made for TV, but made for web streaming. Whoever gets that, but Dunham, Lafayette Christian, you can't sell the 9 seats short. I think we all were in agreement last week when we picked them against Notre Dame, because remember when they played them the first time, the circumstance, they had just fired their coach. A lot of transition stuff was going on. They weren't really on point. They're a lot better than that now. That's going to be a great quarterfinal against Dunham.
All right, moving on to Division 2 non-select.
And it's funny he said streaming, but they can watch that on the TV now. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, baby.
Just
like they can watch, just like they can watch Mangum, just like they can watch us on Friday night, Mangum and South Platte. Check it out. #Out Show Game of the Week, baby.
Roku TVs.
All right, here we go, guys. Franklinton defeats West Feliciana by 21. Lakeshore over Iota by 7. So that's a rematch from the regular season, Franklinton versus Lakeshore. Iowa defeats Wasserman in a closer ball game than it was the first time, 24-8, and Franklin Parish over Bruley by 21. So you get Iowa over Iowa against Franklin Parish. Opelousas goes into Jennings and wins by 11. Plaquemine defeats Northwest by 15. So you have Opelousas against Plaquemine. North DeSoto over Bell Chase by 24. Cecilia comes down to Lutcher and defeats the 2 seed that sets up North DeSoto at Cecilia. VK, are we close to seeing an Opelousas Cecilia semifinals match?
I say yes.
Ooh.
I say yes. I know North DeSoto is very, very hungry, and we're gonna make our picks soon. And North DeSoto, they are capable of winning it all. Definitely, definitely. But something happened with Cecilia recently. Cecilia is playing the role what Opelousas played last year. Started making a run late in the season and started getting those big wins. And then for them to make a shocking win on the road at undefeated Lutcher. To me, that's almost like North DeSoto. They knew Bell Chase came at them and came at them hard, and they put it away. But at the same time, Cecilia gonna bring it too, and they just cannot overlook Cecilia at all. Dennis Dunn and them has to be prepared for a very good team. I think Dennis Dunn is going. I'm gonna say Dennis Skanes is
Mm-hmm.
gonna really have that team ready. It's gonna be an interesting game. I think there's no doubt in my mind that's gonna be a close game. For Opelousas, they can win that game Friday, but I ain't gonna lie, Plaquemine has been hanging tough. They've been hanging tough. And to me, I think they're looking like they're more better than we thought. I think that district alone is better than we thought. So, I think Opelousas has a chance Friday, but Plaquemine is going to be bringing a lot of lumber Friday. They are starting to look, they're starting to get better as a program post Paul DeStefano. It took them a minute to get them back to where they are because Paul DeStefano did a whole lot for that program, taking them to very deep playoff runs. For him leaving the program and for that program to be in a little bit of disarray, but now for Plaquemine, the Green Devils getting back up to where they are, they dangerous, man.
George
Very
Peppers.
dangerous.
Oh, we're talking about North DeSoto and Lutcher, right? I mean, in
No, we're
Cecilia.
talking Cecilia Opelousas. Do you think
Okay.
there's a good chance of them meeting up in the semifinals?
There's a marginal chance in that respect. I undersold Plaquemine, and I owe you guys an apology because I did not think you were going to beat Northwest. Northwest was a team last year that was not fancy to go far, and they went to a semifinal. They were higher seeded this year. But I got to point out Cecilia. Lutcher, 5 shutouts. 5. And Cecilia went into their house and dropped 49 on them. That's that's a ton of points. But let's not undersell North DeSoto. Luke Delafield's a very good quarterback. Done as done. Been there, done that. This is going to be a superb matchup Friday night.
Yeah, yeah.
It absolutely will. Opelousas and Plaquemine. I don't want to tip hands, but Jimmy Zachary looks like. Let me back to Cecilia for 1 second. I think the loss to Opelousas in the regular season galvanized that team, and Dennis Gaines got into him and said, "Look, are we going to be tired of falling short?" I think it galvanized this team. And look at them how they've played now. Now they go to North DeSoto, tough spot to go up there and win that ball game, but it's winnable. Opelousas probably is presumed the favorite. They handled Jennings last Friday night, 30-19. I mean, there's a chance that these two could link up in the semis, but again, we'll make our picks in short time. But to answer your question, yeah, there's a chance.
All right. Division 2 select is where we're going
Oh,
right now.
geez.
Shaw
Do I have
over Laranja, 49-14. John F. Kennedy, Lake Charles College Prep. That was
Pass it
Pass It
out.
Out Show game of the week. What a game. What a game that
Mhm.
was, 51-37, John F. Kennedy. Madison Prep over St. Charles Catholic, 34-20. But let me go back up. It will be Shaw versus John F. Kennedy, rematch of last year's quarterfinal game. And I go back down, like I said, Madison Prep over St. Charles Catholic, and the Struma over Haynes, which was the Hash Our Show Game of the Week special edition. It will be Madison Prep hosting Estruma. The bottom side of the bracket, E.D. White big over Livingston Collegiate, and Vanderbilt Catholic big over Archbishop Hannon. We get a regular season matchup between E.D. White and Vanderbilt Catholic, this time at E.D. White. Leesville defeats Loyola Prep, and Booker T, of course, got to the quarters due to university forfeit. Um, Guys, in Division Two, select which matchup intrigues you the most. VK Jones.
Out of these four matchups, I am not gonna lie to you. I think Edie White and Vanderbilt Catholic is the most intriguing.
Okay.
Remember, Edie White won by a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Final score was 21-14, and they meet again. Not easy to beat an opponent twice. This is a very good Edie White team once again. But Vanderbilt Catholic might maybe get the ultimate revenge and victory in this rivalry to send ED White home. That is going to be a great ball game in itself. And I'm telling you, it is, even regardless of the game being at ED White, it is going to be by the skin of their teeth. Somebody is going to the state semifinals.
George Peppers, what about you?
I can be in agreement with VK, and I'm not trying to disagree, but Sean Kennedy. I mean, the superlatives in this game are just tantalizing, aren't they? A revenge situation for Kennedy because they got beat on their home field last year to Shaw. A fourth quarter touchdown got Shaw the win in that quarterfinal last year in a very close to the vest game. Kennedy has an explosive offense, and Shaw was one of the few teams to button him down last year. Amari Dansberg and all that speed that Kennedy had, Shaw was had the formula. Can they do it again this year? Is the question. Now the game is at Zimmerman on Friday night. Shaw and Kennedy. Edie White Vanderbilt. I completely agree with VK, and that this district rematch is going to. And I picked Vanderbilt the first time when they played, and they played that game close. It was a
Mm-hmm.
close football game, touchdown difference. Maybe he's right. As far as it could be an ultimate revenge thing. Not to undersell the other two matchups because they're good in scope, but to me, when I look at these matchups, I think, and it's not by default because I think it's 1A and 1B. Shaw Kennedy, Edie White, Vanderbilt Catholic. I think these are the two standout matchups just because of the storylines involved with both.
All right. We're gonna go to Division One non-select, fellas. Let me get
One.
there. Yep, Division One
Oh,
non-select.
okay. Skip.
All
All
right.
right.
Neville, big over Covington, and we talked about Chalmette defeating Hornville. West Monroe over Mandeville. Now they go to Central Baton Rouge because Central Baton Rouge defeated West Washita. Bottom side of the bracket, Ruston in a rematch, state championship rematch against Zachary. Ruston gets the win by 21. Southside, huge over Walker. Ruston versus Southside. And the bottom part of the bracket, Destrehan, big time over Northwood Shreve. And Airline, big time over Westgate. George Peppers. In this bracket, can Destrehan go up to Shreveport for the second straight week and get the win over another Shreveport team in the Airline Vikings?
It's a tough ask to get on that bus and go 6 hours 2 weeks in a row. But in saying that, Airline did not have to face a backup quarterback last week in Westgate, and I was the only one of the three of us that picked Airline because I thought that they read all the pressing and all that. Well, they can't stop nobody, they can't do this, and they can't do that. Well, they put it on Westgate pretty good. Um, that being said, Jackson Fields is a different kind of quarterback that they're going to see. And I think that's their hand is starting to click, guys. We said this towards the back end of the year about this team. They're starting to get their pieces back and they're starting to really gel. I like teams, and I'm not tipping my hand here, that gel. And I think Destrehan is extremely capable, VK, of making this trip. Remember, they've been there. They've done that. Marcus Scott, this is nothing new to them. Airline, they've got more to prove than Destrehan, I feel like, in this game. I feel like because they haven't been that team. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking at the bottom. There we go. Shameless plug. There we go.
Actually,
Love it.
actually, I sent you something, Jared. Change it up. Change it up a bit because I forgot I got a new phone, so change it up a bit. I just sent you the thing.
Go ahead, George.
Okay, I know that interruption. I get it. It's all good though. But to answer your question and leading it to you, segueing to you, VK, I think Destrehan is more than capable. And to make the argument, I think Airline has more to prove here than Destrehan.
Mhm.
Sounds strange being a 2 seed, but Destrehan's been here. Airline hasn't.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on this one. Airline has not been in this position. Actually, wait. Actually, it's been a long time since they've been in this position before because Airline
Right.
has been in the quarterfinals. But at the
Hmm.
same time, I think this is going to be an interesting ball game, and it's a great chance that Destrehan can win it. But if offense, now if airline really comes out and jumps on Destrehan, that's going to be a real interesting thing, and that's a that's a good question.
You say that, VK. Wait a minute, but I got to interrupt you. I think Destrehan has got the chops and the capability to chase a deficit down an airline because they have the
Good.
offensive propensity to do it.
They could, they could, they could, but at the same time, somebody got to set the tone. If
Agree.
like I said, if airlines gonna be confident and gain confidence, you gonna have to jump on this Destrehan team that's been there and done that. You have to do that. You don't. If Destrehan put the first punch on you, uh-oh. You know what I'm
Might
saying?
be a
So
problem.
yeah,
All right. Last one. Division 1 select, fellas. Edna Carr, big over Huntington, 56-6. And St. Thomas More blocks St. Augustine's extra point that would have tied it at 28 and more than likely go into overtime for the win over St. Augustine. So it's Carr versus St. Thomas More. Rummel big over McDonough 35. Calicut Baton Rouge shuts out East Jefferson. We get the semifinal rematch in the quarterfinals. Catholic and Archbishop Rummel. Curtis goes up to Scott, Louisiana, gets the win over 3 seed Acadiana by 1 point. And Turling's Catholic comes back to defeat Jesuit. John Curtis takes another drive to Lafayette this Friday night to take on Turling's Catholic. C.E. Bird, big win over St. Paul's. And Alexandria, I think they scored over 40 points early in the first half to defeat Evangel. So you got Bird in Alexandria. V.K. Jones, we finally get a matchup that we've asked for quite some time now. Edna Carr, St. Thomas More. What are your thoughts?
I think it's gonna be one of those, what I'm saying? Like St. Thomas More has been really playing better than everything else, and they have, got to where they are. They're very consistent. And the car, they want this state championship and they want it bad. They want it real bad. Uh it's gonna be something else Friday night over at Morris Jeff. So we'll see what happens.
George Peppers.
You know who the team with the most pressure game is? It's not St. Thomas More. It's Etna Carr.
You think it's Edna Carr? You think
Here's
so?
why. Here's why. SDM's got championships to fall back on recently. They've won what, 3 in a row? I know they've stepped
They
up,
won the they
but
won the last 4 out of 5, the last
4
two.
of the last 5. When does Etna Carr won theirs last? They won it in 20, right? Or 19?
2019.
Yeah,
2019.
five. It's been 5 years. They have not been back to the dome since 2019. And now does the pressure of being the favorite come into play with a St. Thomas More team that is getting better and better and better as the season has progressed? Cole Bergeron has really settled in as quarterback. They've really got an identity to themselves. Sure, they had to survive against St. Augustine, blocked extra point, got the win. But that being said, I'm not saying who I'm picking yet, obviously, but to me, that's going to be one of the good matchups on Friday night. It's power versus power, as far as credibility. That's the rule where, championship caliber teams and and the sports look at this bracket 5-4. You can make the argument Rome could have last year had monsoon not hit and stopped that. Remember, Roman had to postpone that game 14. Rummel had to go home, get back on Saturday, go back up to Rouge, and Catholics took over. The only negative, and I talked to Emmanuel about this, Rummel is coming into this game banged up. They are hurting. But the intrigue in this matchup is palpable. It's right there. But Carr St. Thomas More, listen, Carr is the favorite. I've said it all year long. They're the best team in the state, bar none. But STM is in this bracket. I don't want to say they're an afterthought because that would be the ultimate slap to the face to
Oh,
that group.
they're not an
At all.
afterthought.
At
Not at
all.
all.
Not at all. And for anybody who to make that assertion is foolish. But that being said, Carr is the favorite. STM is not without a chance here, gentlemen. They have a shot.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Edna Carr versus STM. Man, that's gonna be one hell of a ball game. One hell of a ball game. We're waiting for Coach Harry Coleman to join us. And we said 8 o'clock, so 8 o'clock is almost here. Ladies and gentlemen, you got any questions while we wait for Coach? We will be happy to answer any questions while we wait for Coach. But I'm not gonna lie, the Rummel Catholic matchup. I've talked to some Rummel fans, and this is who they wanted. They want Catholic. They feel that they got a disservice done to them in the semifinal match last year. They have told me this is a matchup that we want. We want Catholic. Okay? Now you got them. You got Catholic. And you got to go back to Catholic again, just like last season. So, what will you do? Get revenge or suffer defeat for the second year in a row? I'm telling you, VK and George, this will be a close matchup, and I won't be surprised if it's another low scoring game similar to what it was last year, VK.
Yes, yes, I definitely agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I think this is going to be another classic, another Romo Catholic classic. They've been going against each other for a good while, and it goes back to the state championship game when Catholic pulled off a huge shocker to win their first state championship. And I mean, especially with Clyde Edwards-Hilaire as the running back at the time. And, and that Romo team probably, I think, to me, as good, slight tad bit better than the first state championship. They was that good. And for them to pull it off the way they did, I was like, my goodness. Nobody thought that Catholic would did it, and they did, giving Dale Weiner his first state championship. But they didn't have some good classic games going against one another, and we're expecting another one.
Tell you what, Austin Tyler got a good question. I'll let George go first. Who has been the best player that you've seen so far in these playoffs?
I can answer this question, and that's Amani Darrensburg. I just see the maturation from last year to this year. I see a composed quarterback. I see a quarterback that has patience. I see a quarterback that sees opportunity and sees the moment, and he really has grasped the leadership role tightly. Kennedy Group, and that's going to make Sean's task difficult Friday night. VK, check your cash app, by the way. You got a little something from me. So, and that being said, um, to me, that's my answer, Jared, because you know how much of a fan of Amani Darrensburg I am. I've said this to you guys a couple of times that we've done Kennedy games. Just look how he's really matured, and look how he's been able to utilize the weapons. Look what he did Friday night against Lake Charles College Prep. How he got James Goodtime Evans, Kingston Jones, and guys like that involved. Amon Brown, the running back. I don't want to say he was an afterthought, but he was more token than he was impact on Friday night. I think the receivers really did the spotlights Friday night, and Darrensburg was big time in facilitating that. To me, that's the best player I've seen in these playoffs.
VK.
I would love to say Darrensburg myself, and he's been unbelievable. But I gotta go twofold on this one. It has been John Johnson and Teron Francis. These two have been putting on an unbelievable display, not just in the regular season, but now in the postseason. They got something on their minds. And this is maybe one of the best tandems we've seen since Alden Clark and Race McMath. We've seen that was a connection in itself that we have seen over there at Carr, and this is another great connection with them too. And like I said, they have really been turning up. I remember the one week there was a guy talking that smack about man, child ain't gonna do this, do that. And then against Rommel, he put the stiff arm on somebody when he scored. And I was like, dude, you don't want to wake sleeping giants up. You don't want to make sleeping giants up. They are really, really, really good. They're really good. I like Teron Francis, John Johnson Jr.
All right. What were the games we had in the first round? We had Livingston and Douglas, right?
Douglas. And we had
And we had Bell Chase. Okay, and we had Bell Chase and North Vermilion.
Parkway, North Vermilion,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah. Jason Holmes says Tyler Johnson and Alfred McKnight. You guys must not have watched Madison Prep at all this year. I've seen a bunch of highlights of Madison Prep.
Exactly.
But I saw him in person in the spring against St. Aug. I did see him there in the spring. But no, I'm not doubting what you're saying, Tyler, because you see him. But I haven't seen him, and I'm just going by the question: who have I seen so far as the best player in the playoffs in person? What I've seen, and I gotta go with you, George Peppers, Monty Darrensburg, from what I've seen so far. So, I mean, the only playoff games I've seen so far are the Hash It Out Show Game of the Weeks and the Hash It Out Show Special Edition. I haven't been able to get anywhere else. So that is what I've seen. But I know Tyler Johnson for sure. He's a beast. Hey, Tyron Tussin. Hey, yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good one too.
What do you got?
Hey,
What do you got?
Aiden Carter from Lake Charles College Prep.
That
Oh,
dude, yeah, that dude.
Yeah,
yes.
man.
Ooh. Aiden Carter had over 200 some yards of total offense, or 250. He was unreal. Him and Pete, they really lit it up for Lake Charles College Prep, and I don't think they're seniors either. If he comes back, my God, I mean, Lake Charles College Prep will definitely be back next season. So I'm telling you, I was very, very impressed of Aiden Carter.
Definitely.
And we were the last game to finish, I think. Our game was the last game. We were the last ones to get done.
Yes, we were.
Mhm.
Hayden says there are 30 of 32 games Friday being streamed. Someone needs to pick up Carver versus STM and Kentwood versus Southern Lab. So Kentwood versus Southern Lab, I don't know who has that, but I would guess when it comes to Carver versus STM, I'm going to guess. I don't even know who your review has. Do you know who your review, VK, by chance?
I can go check and see see what they
Unless they
got.
put it up on their Facebook page or whatever. I don't know who
Because
your review is.
I'm kind of surprised VSN is not on this thing with STM and Carr.
Exactly, because
they're
they're on the STM
Well,
blanket.
hold on now. What if Carr said no to VSN?
Possible.
All right. Hayden says your review hasn't announced yet. Yeah, I'm expecting Crescent City Sports to get that also. I really am. Yep. Yes, indeed. Enoch says we were the last game. He caught the last 6 minutes of the fourth quarter after the Bonky game. Coach Fronta, he says Malachi Dabney has been the best player he's seen the playoffs from Destrehan. 6 touchdowns against Airline. So Hayden Lassard says VSN doesn't travel. They usually don't. But the reason why, Hayden, we guessed it because we saw VSN travel with Shaw to Kennedy being a playoff game, so we kind of assumed they would. So you probably right on that they didn't travel with with um with SN for this game. Probably right. Thank you, Miss Aunt Julie Jubert Guillory. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Miss
Marlon
Guillory.
Favorite. Marlon Favorite says happy birthday. Ah, okay.
Thank you, Marlon.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Um, Coach, Coach, um, Coach Harry Coleman just got back with me, and it looks like he may not be able to make it. Something came up, so we're gonna go ahead and continue with the show, and we'll get Coach on here another day. No, it's not a problem. So we apologize for that, but he just texted me saying he got something that came up that he had to take care of. So we'll get Coach on here another day because I want Coach Coleman to explain his side. I really do, man, because I really feel like his team got the wrong end of the stick in this one. With that
Absolutely.
being, yeah. With that being said, um, hold on before we go. Hayden Lassard says based on which crew, like the STM Viz and crew normally doesn't. They don't. Yeah, I would have thought so too. That's what I'm talking about, Hayden. I would have thought they would have traveled too, but it's not going to happen. All right, guys. When we come back right here on the Hash It Out Show. We're going to do our picks. We're going to pick the games coming up this upcoming Friday night, except for the Hash It Out Show game of the week. So we're going to take a commercial break. You guys stay here with us right here on the Hash It Out Show. Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504 940 7552. Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com.
Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team, and you are watching the Hash It Out Show. And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, joined by VK Jones and George Peppers.
Oh,
And yes, the
no.
Hash It Out Show game of the week. It is the South Plaquemines Hurricanes taking on the Mangum Dragons. Quarterfinal playoff action in Division
Oh,
4 non-select. Winner goes to the semifinals. Pregame will be at 6:30 with kickoff starting at 7 o'clock. VK Jones and George Peppers will be on the call for that game. So make sure you all tune in to the Hash It Out Show game of the week. Yes, we met Austin Tyler this past Friday night at the John F. Kennedy and Lake Charles College prep game. So VK is not all that bad. Yes, indeed. All right.
I appreciate it, Austin, man. You know what I'm saying? It was good to meet the young dude, you know what I'm saying, and everything. He has done a lot. He's been part of the game himself. He also been coaching and stuff like that, working in law enforcement. But he's a really good dude, and we appreciate him. We appreciate all the fans that we meet each and every week and stuff like that. We meet new people. It's funny, you know what I'm saying? It's we have great connections with people, and we thank y'all so much for everything, all the fans, sponsors, and all that stuff to continue to support us as a brand and as a conglomerate.
Most definitely. George Peppers, you over there, brother? You there?
Just getting this stuff
I'm
ready.
here.
All right.
Get it
Yeah,
ready, bro.
I've got the pick sheet ready to go whenever you're ready. That's why I've got the
All right.
phone
I'm
laid
going
down so I
to
can start.
you good, man. I'm going to Division 4 non-select.
God.
and we are in the quarterfinals. Here we go. Number 1, Haynesville hosting number 9, Welsh. Give me the Tornadoes of Haynesville to move to the semifinals. VK.
I gotta agree with you. Gotta agree with you. The Haynesville Tornadoes trying to look for another state championship, so I'm gonna go with Haynesville over Welsh.
All right, George Peppers.
Before I make my pick, I want to announce how we did last week, and to say the least,
Go right ahead,
uh,
George.
I'm
Go
gonna
right
say it.
ahead.
I'm gonna say it. I can. Hey, bro, you won regular season. I can talk. Tell him,
I know.
VK.
I'm telling you, go ahead and do it. It's all
All
good.
right, thank you, baby. All right, but round two, myself and VK Jones share the spoils with 45 wins out of 60. We both got 45. And Jared, you were the trailer this week at 44. So for the playoffs, through 2 rounds, I have 105 wins to 30 losses. VK, you have 101 wins to 34 losses. And Jared, you got 103 to 32. And with that said, I have said all year, Hansville feels like a team looking for redemption. It continues Friday night. The Greyhounds, I don't know how much of a fight they're going to put up. I think the Golden Tornadoes get it done pretty resoundly.
All right, there you have it. There you have it, my brother. And I'm gonna say it right for you, Kenny. The Golden Tours. There you go. I'm gonna say it right. All right, moving on. General Trask to take on Generette. Well, I had North Iberville getting to the semis. That isn't happening. So I have to pick a new semifinal pick to go along with my pick of Haynesville. I'm gonna go with Generette. Give me Generette. VK.
I think Generette has just been so consistent all year long, and they have been a very good athletic team and everything else. I seen them against Covenant Christian, and I mean, I was very impressed. Covenant Christian had a big full quarter to win that ball game.
Yeah.
This is a good ball club. I'm going with Generette as well.
All right. Hayden Lestar, man. I wish I had your record right now.
Wow,
You
Abe.
rolling, brother.
Wow.
Go ahead, George Peppers.
You know, General Trask was very impressive in dominating, decimating North Iberville. But
And
what was
George,
the
George, I'm
yes?
sorry to cut you off, but Hayden Lassard is cheese.
I know who he is.
Oh, my
I know.
bad. Okay, cool. My bad. All right.
It's all good, baby. Listen, General Trask dominated North Iberville. And what was the one precaution I had about North Iberville before the playoffs? What did I say? I thought if they could adapt to the playoff setting, because remember, they didn't have the chops, playoff chops, and this was a great year. But General Trask has really been on the come up. With that said, though, I'm going to align with my two brothers here and go Generate. I think Generate has a purpose. I think they are home, and I think that's going to see them through into the semifinals. I got Generate.
All right. All right. We got Kenny Ramonde says General Trash passing game is for real. Andre Vest says General Trash also. Just reading a St. Charles Cali coach passed. Oh yeah. Oh man. Jesus.
What?
Wait, one?
Yeah, I did read that.
Wow, I
I
didn't
didn't
know that.
announce it.
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah.
which
I, f-
assistant
I
coach.
forgot his name. I did read it though. I did read
Oh
it.
my goodness,
Guys, yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
man! You might have to send that to me, Jared.
Yeah, I'll find it for you and get it for you.
Oh my
All right,
goodness!
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right. Back with Division 4 non-select, everybody. To the bottom side of the bracket. Franklin and Logan Sport. I said Logan Sport will get to the semis. Give me Logan Sport. I'm sticking with them. VK.
I'll tell you one thing, man. Logansport has been consistent in itself,
Go ahead.
but I'm a
Pick that Cinderella for Franklin. Go ahead. Come on. You want to?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Cause it seems like Franklin is really coming along, and I ain't gonna lie,
This who it
pulling
is.
off a
Coach
win,
John Talley. That's who it was.
pulling off a win like that
Thanks,
against
Hayden.
against
Hey,
DeQuincy.
Quincy. Yep,
Wow, and DeQuincy has been unbelievable this year.
yep.
I'm going. It's gonna be a close game, and I wouldn't try Logansport to pull it off, but I'm gonna go with Franklin.
All right. So Coach Tally is the one that passed away, man. Man, God bless
Well,
he
God
and his
bless him.
family, man.
Wow.
Kenny, I don't even know how Franklin won. Put in the chat. Tell us how they won. I don't even know how they won. Go ahead, George.
to echo you, our thoughts and our prayers and condolences go out to the Tally family and to the St. Charles family as well. We'll keep you all in prayer. And at this close to Thanksgiving, that's a tough, tough spot, tough break right there. Our thoughts and condolences and prayers go out to you all. With that said, VK, you trying to catch up? That's what you're doing here. Um, I don't. I mean, look, I admire what Franklin Parrish has done, and that was a very gut check win at DeQuincy. DeQuincy was thought of to maybe get to the dome. Maybe they were thought of by some wise guys to get to New Orleans. That's not happening. Logan Sport has something Franklin does not have: the seasoning to get further than this, and I think that sees them through. Logan Sport is my pick.
All right. So Hayden said DeQuincy was up 4, punting from their side of the field, 10 seconds left. Punt block, and Franklin returned it for a touchdown to win it. Wow. Enoch, block punt inside a minute left. DeQuincy could have taken the safety and won. Kenny, DeQuincy leading 19-15 with 8 seconds and goes to punt from own 4-yard line. Franklin block punt for a touchdown. They didn't want to take a safety. I would have took a safety. Oh, man, that's another hard way to lose, like St. Aug lost with the block extra point. Hard way to lose. Mangum versus South Plaquemine is a game we're not going to pick because that is our game of the week. So with that being said, we're going to move to Division 4 Select. And here we go. Vermilion Catholic to face St. Edmund. Give me Vermilion Catholic. VK.
I will agree with you on that. I think Vermilion Catholic, it should be interesting, but I think Vermilion Catholic pulls away in the fourth quarter. Vermilion Catholic.
Okay, VK saying close, but VC pulls away.
St. Edmunds should have saved some of those points they scored last week for this week because they're going to need them. I think Vermilion Catholic wins soundly.
Soundly. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. To the next one. That is Kentwood against Southern Lab. They played a close one early this year with Southern Lab winning. Can Southern Lab do it again? Let me check to see who I had in the semifinals. I just got to make sure. Oh, yeah. I had Southern Lab. And that's who I'm going with. Southern Lab to take on Vermilion Catholic. VK Jones.
Should be an interesting ball game. Should be this one's going to definitely go down to the wire and everything else. Southern Lab should get there more than anything else. But this Kentwood team is hungry and they've been getting better and better. And I'm gonna go with the Kangaroos to win it in the tank to get to the semifinals.
All right. He got the Kentwood Kangaroos. Who you got, George Peppers?
Who I got, he says. That's a good question. Because what is the old axiom? Rematches are tougher on who? The team that won the first time. And that was the Kittens, the first time that they won. They go to the tank to play this quarterfinal. I seem to remember last year they went to the tank and they got the job done on the road. I don't think that's going to bother them at all. Kentwood has a great home field. They do. It is intimidating. It is a tough place. But I think the Kittens have the chops to go in there and get this win. Southern Lab is my pick.
All right. Bottom side of the bracket. Covenant Christian. Oh, what a story they have told this year. But guess what? Washita Christian is taking a drive down to Homer, Louisiana, Homer/Thibodeau. Can Covenant Christian slay the giant? Or does the giant step on the little man? I have Washita Christian going to the semis. And I'm going to stick with it. The Eagles of Washita Christian defeats Covenant Christian. VK.
Washita Christian, I mean, very good program in itself, and they've been there, done that. Covenant Christian really coming out there more than anything else, really making an impact and everything. But I'm gonna say this about this team. And I'm gonna say it about another team in a minute. Washington Christian is good, but they not that team this year. I'm going with Covenant Christian going to semifinals. They're not that team this year. They're not that team. It was proven late in the year that they're not that team. When it came down to it, they went down. Plain and simple. I am going with Covenant Christian for the semifinals.
So you telling me, Mister, they got the experience, experience. Your favorite word. You not saying Washington Christian has the experience more over Covenant Christian?
I'm gonna say it again. They're not that team. When you that team, and even if you're young, you got some chops and everything else, okay, cool. But when it came down to it, what it was, Oak Grove they went against or whatever, they got smacked around.
I think.
They're not that team.
What's up, Kyle Walker? I did not know what down it was for the touchdown that was being called. I did not know. I said that I didn't know. George asked me if it was fourth down. I said I don't know what down it was. I knew it was fourth down on the pass interference that was called, but on the touchdown play, I did not know. So thank you for telling me, Kyle Walker. TP.
You know, when
George?
VK Jones waves his finger, I get intimidated. I'm here.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
Oh,
You good. Go ahead. Well, he wasn't good. I mean, I guess he wasn't good. I mean, but he's back. He's back. There he is. Hold on, let me get him in here. All right, George, go ahead.
okay, when VK waves his finger, we get intimidated, don't we? You know, when that point of emphasis, boy, he puts that finger out, that index finger comes out, duck. Just saying. But I'm going to agree with him on here with Watchdog Christian in the sense of they don't have I don't think they're a dome caliber team. I know they have the experience, and I believe in experience. But Covenant Christian, it feels like something special is happening down there. They were my semifinal pick, and I am not reneging now. Give me the home side, and what I think is going to be a breakout game for them, as far as breakout in the sense of the caliber of opponent that they have played. Covenant Christian is my pick to win this game Friday night.
Covenant Christian is your guy. You guys pick. All right. Okay. All right. I guess I'm the lone wolf on this one. Oh, maybe I win. We'll
Wolf
see.
season too.
Yeah, just like Bama, huh? Roll time.
Oh my
It's Wolf
God!
season, right?
LSU fans want to talk about Bama all of a sudden, man. But I know Bama beat
Yeah,
y'all.
now because Alabama got whacked. I know, but VK, it's Wolf season Friday night, right? We shoot the wolf. I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Anyway,
We'll see.
we
yeah.
moving Division 3 9 select.
Wait, no, we got one more game there, don't
No,
we?
we don't.
Wait, in select
We just did Division 4
4,
select.
We do have one more.
you do.
Yeah, we do. My fault. Sorry, guys.
Riverside and Ascension
Yes,
Catholic,
sir.
sir.
Riverside and Ascension Catholic. Dedrick Lasty, Chad Elzy, two great running backs, but whose team get the win? Will get the win. The Kyle Walker that came up for Chalmette, his name sounds so familiar.
I think he's one of the assistant coaches at Chalmette. He used to be
Was he
head
the
coach at
head
another
coach at
school.
Riverdale?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm looking at it like I know this coach. I know it. All right. Yeah, Coach Kyle Walker. Hey, remember when Riverdale played for the district championship? He was up there, Willie Brooks. That was big for former coaches and all that to come back and support Riverdale in that game. Definitely. I'm sitting there like I know Kyle Walker. I interviewed him last year. Definitely. Here we go. Riverside and Ascension. Give me Riverside over Ascension Catholic.
And I'll tell you one thing, what a job Noel Narcisse has done at that program in his first season up at Ascension Catholic and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
And very good team and everything else. But I'm gonna go with the big dog, Dedrick Lasty, and Riverside to get to the semis.
All right, who you got, GP?
I feel like Riverside, after the beatdown at Vermilion Catholic, has really started to re-identify themselves and say, okay, now we know where we're at, and they're continuing to build and build and build and build, and they're not there yet. But I think this is going to be a game where they announce themselves. And Ascension Catholic is an extremely worthy opponent. 2 seed, home game. I think the Rebels go in there and get this win. Close game, but I believe Dedrick Last and Riverside pull this out. I think both teams are going to score in the 40s. I think this is going to be one of the higher scoring games in the state.
All right, good, good. All right, let me see what we got. For Troy Narcisse, I gotta go with Narcisse. I bet you do, buddy. I bet you do. All right, Division 3 of everybody non-select. Here we go. Let me get to it. All right, St. James hosting Pine Wildcats. St. James, VK.
Wildcats, they're playing a little bit on another level right now. I think Pine is going to be ready to roll. It's going to be interesting early, but I think St. James settles down and they do what they got to do. A veteran Pine team is going to be ready to roll, but for St. James, they'll have it together and they'll get it done. Wildcats.
Everybody watching on Twitter and on Facebook, hit those follow buttons. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, George Peppers.
Hmm. You know, you look at a St. James team that I thought at the beginning of the year was a transition team. But here they are as the top seed in a quarterfinal in a matchup that is tailor made for them. Fine. I had them last week against Kaplan. And I think they're a very worthy opponent. But I think Levante Davis's team continues to get better, especially after they lost to Shaw. You know, when they got beat by Shaw, they haven't lost since. I don't think they lose here. I think St. James wins it, but I think it's going to take all 4 quarters to get this win. St. James wins, but it's going to take 4 quarters to get it.
All right. Union Parish going down to Kinder. Give me the Farmers of Union Parish. VK.
There's going to be another good game. I think this is going to be a very, very close game in itself. Kinder is really, really good this year. I think Coach Spat and his squad is going to find a way to get it done. Give me the Farmers by a field goal.
Ooh, he says close. All right. George Peppers.
I don't know if it's close. I think Kinder's lived on the edge. Yeah, they won good last week. But Union Paris, they're not intimidated by any site that they go to. Remember they went to Gina last year in the semifinals, and how many people fancied Gina in that game to win that? And Union Paris went in there and said, "Okay, we got you." Look what happened in the Superdome. Who was it they beat? That was Saint. No, that
St.
was Saint
James.
James. They beat. Yeah, it
St.
was Saint
James.
James. And look what happened. They went to the dome and got the win. Late drive, got the job done. And I think Coach Spatafora has got this team ready to rock. I think they sniffed the dome. They're getting close. They'll beat Kinder, I think, by 14. Union Parish by 14.
All right. I saw St. James in person when they played Shaw. And I said then, yeah, they're gonna be a force in Division 3. They're gonna be a force. And I said they're gonna get better. And as you see, they're the 1 seed for a reason.
Yep.
All right. Moving back up. Well, to the bottom side of the bracket. I'm sorry. Oak Grove, Sterlington. Hey, this might be one of the better games of the night. Friday night. I think most people will pick Jackson Bradley and Oak Grove, but I'm not. I got the Panthers of Sterlington defeating Oak Grove. Give me Sterlington. Let's go, VK.
Oh boy, he went out as contrarian and went to the underdogs. Very good, Mr. Boyd. Very good. Like that. I like the guts on that one. So, looking at this matchup, this is going to be a very good game. It's going to be very, very close in itself. Sterlington has had some tough games. They're battle tested. Man, I I just can. I wish I could go that way, but I'm gonna go with Oak Grove, man. I just cannot deny what Jackson Bradley can do, especially that squad. I'm gonna go with Oak Grove in the close one.
George.
Going to be one of the better. I agree. It's going to be one of the better games on the night. Hi, you know, in a game like this, the difference maker is that's a weird way to win a football game. Oak Grove by an onside kick. Weird. Um, Sterlington has played a rugged schedule. Remember, one of the L's was West Monroe. on their schedule. That tells me that they're not afraid to play the big guys. So they're not going to be intimidated by this
And
trip.
Neville.
It's not even, and Neville, right? They play Neville as well. And but look, and those two teams are still playing this week. So what does that tell you? They schedule tough for a reason. Oak Grove, on the other hand, I think in a coin flip game, give me the team that has the player that can make the most impact. I'm going with the home team because they were my semifinal pick. A la you, who had Sterlington in the semifinals, Mr. Boyd.
I
I'm
do.
going with the home side. Oak Grove wins, and I pull away to win the P with this one.
I hear you. Hey, Hayden. I see what you did there, Hayden. I see what you did there. All right.
What do you do? Wait, I
The
missed it.
next
What do you do?
game. Don't worry about it. I'm not putting it
Oh
up. I'm not
damn!
putting it up.
Oh
I'm not putting
damn!
it up.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Um, Gina versus Lauraville. Hayden says this may be a very intriguing matchup with Lauraville having a chance to actually win this game, but I'm going with the Giants of Gina to get back to the semifinals. VK.
Well, it's gonna be interesting here. A lot gonna go on in this game. It could be a wild one on Friday night, but I'm gonna go with the Gina Giants to get back to the state semifinals.
All right, George Peppers.
You know, for all the hype Erats had last week against Lowerville, they hyped this game out. They called it whiteout. They did everything. They had every pomp, circumstance, all that stuff. What did Lowerville do? 28-7. They punched them in the mouth and they didn't get a punch back. That tells me that they've got some fortitude, Lowerville. With that said, Jay Rourke is a tremendous coach at Gina and has done wonder work there on a team that looks transitional at the beginning of the year. They looked it, but they've really found themselves. Give give me the Giants as well to go on to the semis. Gina.
All right. Jordan Taylor says Pine beats St. James by 40. I know he's clowning.
I'll take 40 in St. James. Jordan.
Oh man, yes indeed.
Wow.
Yeah, that was what game was that again, Hayden? The Erat. Yeah, Erat was charging people $50 to watch the stream of them against Lauraville. I just want
Really?
to know who paid that. Who paid that? I want to know who
Oh
paid that.
no,
Yeah. Yep.
that's
I want to
ridiculous.
know how they were allowed to do that.
If they streamed it themselves, I guess they have that right.
I don't know the parameters, but that doesn't sound fair.
Hey man, I'm just reading. I just
I
know they
feel
were
that.
streaming.
I
Yeah.
feel that. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to Division Three Select. Yeah, Troy, I figured he was just messing with you. I figured that. Division Three Select bracket. Here we go. Dunham and Lafayette Kristen. And I know anybody that picks Dunham out of me, VK, and George Peppers, you may get an earful from Hayden Lassard.
Of course.
But I had Lafayette Kristen in my semifinals, and I'm sticking with it. Night Train, baby. The Knights of Lafayette Kristen back in the semifinals again. Give me LCA. Let's go, VK.
George Peppers, why don't you go first? Man?
Oh,
Go first. Go first.
Mm,
I want to see
he's
where
giving
you
me the
direct.
floor.
I want to see what your direction.
Okay. Which direction I'm going in?
Yeah, that's what I want to
I'm
see.
going to go with blood. I'm going with blood right here. Because myself and my dear brother Emmanuel Peppers, who does a great job doing scoreboards for Crescent City on Friday nights, and is very much in tune with what happens in school in football, like we are. He told me, and Jared knows because I told him, he thought Dunham was a convincing pick this week against Lafayette Christian, and he said it in different words, which I won't repeat because we are a family show,
that's right.
right? So that would, as a medium, that would be really cool to see them in the dome, Jordan. They would, but they got a tough road to hoe. Yes, indeed. Oh, you see this one, VK? You see this, huh?
He sees it.
Okay. Ain't no comments, sir.
Mm-mm.
What picture do you have of them? We need to know.
Oh God. Come on,
Not
man.
But listen, Elijah Haven is special. He's only a sophomore. And Dunham is a team with a purpose. Once upon a time, they were in VK's top five, and he got chastised for it. I'm not saying they are, but I do think Dunham is going to get this win. I'm going Dunham, VK.
Hayden Lassard, who's that defensive end or defensive tackle that's been unstoppable for Lafayette Christian? He broke your boy's sack record, single season sack record, and I think he's only a sophomore. What's his name, Hayden? Because I think he may have a great night against Dunham. But let's move on.
Well,
Hayden's gonna get the name for me. Let's move on.
well,
Bunky
I didn't make
versus
the pick.
huh?
I didn't make my pick.
Oh, my fault. Well, see, man, I'm
Yeah,
used to going
I
me,
know.
you, and George. You know, so
Right,
how
right.
people see it, me, you,
I,
George. But go ahead,
right.
sir.
It's okay. It's okay. I just want to see what George's direction is. I think this is going to be a very close game in
Here it
itself.
is. Jaden Winters, 17 sacks, 28 tackles for loss. He's a senior. Okay. Yay. I
Wow.
think he's going to cause not cause some, he's going to cause disruption Friday night.
Yeah.
Go ahead, VK.
Should be an interesting ball game Friday night and everything. LCA has been really, really coming along a lot lately. They have been really rolling in there, and but I gotta say Elijah Haven and his Dunham team has been really good this year. They haven't really had that complete performance yet as a team, but this is going to be close early. But Dunham, big fourth quarter, and they pull away to win. Give me Dunham in the semis.
Oh, I'm the lone wolf again. Oh! All right, moving on.
Oh,
Yeah, y'all want to talk. LSU fans want to talk, but y'all lost to them. Okay. I just, my goodness, the hate is real. Anyway, here we go. Bunky, Jules Sumner. I'll be quick with this. I have Bunky in my semifinals. Give me Bunky. VK.
I think this is going to be a great, great quarterfinal ball game and everything. Joel Sumner has been really outstanding this season and everything, and Bonky is really on a mission more than anything else. Close ball game. I'm gonna go with Bonky by a field goal in a very good ball game.
All right. George Peppers.
I have Bunky in my semifinals, but Jules Sumner that scares the death out of me. They do. They are that team that has been under the radar. They've flown under the radar, and they've remember what they did to Meet a couple of weeks ago, and look what Bunky did to Meet last week. Common thread. They both handled it pretty well. Bunky did it more solidly, and I think that in to me, Bunky's defense is going to win them this game on the road, tough environment. I think the Panthers of Bunky get this win by a touchdown late.
All right. Bottom side of the bracket, we have Calvary Baptist hosting Episcopal. Give me the Cavaliers of Calvary Baptist. VK.
Calvary Baptist is gonna be way too much. Calvary.
All right.
Mm, that easy, BK? I mean, I agree that Cavalry wins it, but Episcopal might give them a little something here um, early. I just think there's too much James Simon, too much Abram Wardell, and too much offense. Cavaliers get it done.
All right. So we all got Calvary
Yep.
Baptist. And then we have Catholic of New Iberia coming down to New Orleans to take on Isadore Newman. The Greenies finally get to the semifinals. I don't know when the last time it happened, be honest with you, but the Greenies are in the semifinals after this game. Newman.
Now they've been in the semis. They just haven't got past the semis. They've been in the semis three
Not saying they
times.
didn't. I said I don't remember when the last time they got there. That's what I'm saying.
They got there last year and they lost
You still won the quarters
Cavalry beat them last year.
in the semifinals.
in the semifinals. Okay, cool.
Yeah, they've been in
Okay,
the semifinals last 2 years.
all right.
I think this is the one hump they haven't got over either. They have not beaten Calvary Catholic of New Iberia. They
Ooh.
have been a thorn on their side, knocking them out the playoffs. But I think this year Newman finally gets some. Newman named the number.
Well, Hayden Lassard says Calico New Iberia will win big over Newman. All right, George Peppers, who you got?
VK talks about Catholic in the Iberia being a hump until this year. Eli Friend and Newman win. I don't know. I can't. Hayden, I don't know where you're going with that. I don't think so. Enoch, is that the Enoch from Under the Lights, Jared?
Yeah, Enoch.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Well, we talked about we had made that proposal last week. Um, they supposedly, but you can't confirm. Newman, Eli Friend, Nelson Stewart. They get to the semis, but if our picks project right, they see the defending champions once again.
Yeah.
If we're right. And that could be a very tough hurdle coming back. I think it's Newman's time this week, to finally pass one hurdle. I think then I'm going to go with the Greenies.
All right. We're gonna go to Division Two non-select now, everybody. Here we go. Franklinton versus Lakeshore, a rematch of a regular season game that was very close. It's gonna be close again, and this may go down to the wire. Well, not. I mean, it will. It will go down to the wire. Give me the Demons of Franklinton. Very close. Franklinton with the win, VK.
I gotta agree with you. It's gonna be a very close game once again. It went down to overtime last time they played. It's gonna be another great game between these two teams, and I think it will. I don't know if it's gonna be overtime, but I'll take Franklinton by field goal. It's gonna be that close of a ball game.
Everybody watching, hit those follow buttons and likes on Facebook and Twitter. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Go ahead, George Peppers.
Okay. Just writing the picks as we get them. Um, this game, I think, was an overtime game, if I remember right the first time,
Yeah.
that Franklinton escaped and got the win. That being said, hmm, this can be very close again. And it would not surprise me at all. But I have the Demons in the semifinals before the playoffs. There's nothing that suggests I'm going to change now. This matchup does scare me, but Franklinton, I think, pulls out another close one. Franklinton wins close.
All right. Jordan need Lakeshore to win, like we talked about earlier today, JB. Yes, sir. I know why you want them to win. Yes, sir. I truly do. Um, Moving on. Iowa versus Franklin Parish. Woo! This was a tough one for me. But something is telling me Franklin Parish, and I have Franklin Parish in my semifinals against Franklinton, and I'm going to stick with it. Give me Franklin Parish. VK.
That should be a very close game there. It's gonna be a great playoff game, and I think Iowa very seasoned. They're a team that can really make a run to the semifinals. But I'm gonna go with Franklin Parish, man. Coach Burnett has a really good team, and they have played a very tough schedule, and they got some big wins on their schedule, man. So I'm close one. I'm gonna go with Franklin Parish.
All right.
I have Franklin Parish in my semifinal as well. Um, I'm not getting off here. Franklin Parish, they have that kind of team that can really do some damage, and they could probably scare the bedevilment out of Franklinton if those two win next week. I like Franklin Parish in this game, but Iowa will give them a heck of a fight.
All right. I hear you, man. I hear you. We in Division Two non-select, right? Okay, cool. Making sure. Moving on.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Bottom time.
Opelousas. Opelousas against Plaquemine. Give me the defending state champs to move into the semifinals. Give me Opelousas. VK.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, George. But first, I'm sorry.
Oh, me first?
Yeah, go ahead first. I'm just.
It's Opelousas and Plaquemine. Are you gonna take this first, or you want me to?
You take it first. You take it first, George.
I won't be long. Opelousas is going to win this game. I'll take the defending champions and Jimmy Zachary to make one more trip to the semifinal.
All right. Back to you, VK.
Well, I think this game. I expect this game to be an interesting one. I think Plaquemine, like we mentioned, they're better than we thought, especially in that district for them. A big time return for the Green Devils back in the quarterfinals. They're gonna be at home. It's gonna be a hostile environment, very much a hostile environment. But Opelousas has faced this type of opposition before. But Clackamas is gonna give them a lot of hell. But I give this victory to Opelousas. I think Opelousas gets it done, gets back to the semis.
All right. Cecilia. Man, the Road Demons. They're on the road again as they go to North DeSoto. Luke Delafield. Give me Cecilia. I think Cecilia gets the job done over North DeSoto. Just went to Lutcher and defeated them. And I think they're going to go up there to the Stonewall and defeat North DeSoto. Give me Cecilia. VK.
Ooh, man, that is gonna be it's gonna be an epic game more than anything else. I think what Cecilia's done has been unbelievable. Luke Delafield and North DeSoto is hungry. Two hungry teams more than anything else. And I think Dennis Gaines has done an unbelievable job this year with some of the players he lost, some of the coaches. It's a tough one. It's a real tough one. I know I got to get back in it. Try my best with this one. You know what? We're going to have that rematch. Cecilia. Give me Cecilia over North DeSoto.
And especially, I know Lutcher was my pick to get to the semifinals in this one, and that's not happening. All right, George Peppers.
All right. I know it's wolf season, but I guess I better take the mantra here because I'm going to go with North DeSoto. And Diesel Solari is extremely dangerous. That is a fact. And that gives Cecilia a puncher's chance. Lutcher doesn't have the offense North DeSoto has, and they dropped 41 on them. What is North DeSoto's offense, who's I think more capable, can do to them? I'm going with North DeSoto and Dennis Dunn and Luke Delafield to get to the semifinals because guess what? They were my semifinal pick on this side of the bracket. I got North DeSoto.
Okay. Division 2 select. Here
Mm-hmm.
we go. And y'all know two of my teams that I had to get to the semifinals are not going. One lost last week, and the other one got put out the playoffs by losing a court case. So here we go. Archbishop Shaw, John F. Kennedy, the rematch from last year quarterfinals. The matchup that Kennedy has wanted since they lost to Archbishop Shaw in the quarterfinals last year. How do I know? I went to Kennedy spring game, and that's what they were talking about, the players, how bad they want to play Shaw again. Well, here it is. This time it's at Archbishop Shaw High School, Joe Zimmerman Stadium. Who will win? The Eagles of Archbishop Shaw or the Cougars of John F. Kennedy? This will be a fantastic ball game between two of the best teams in the state. One has to move on, and the winner in a close ball game will be the Archbishop Shaw Eagles. VK.
Of course, he's going to go with his alma mater, which I understand completely. Not
Of
no
course.
shot.
What you talking about? When they play
No shot.
Carr, I said Carr. What you talking about? I be fair.
Mhm.
I think Shaw wins the game, just like last year. I was fair. Nothing to do with my alma mater. But go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So I really think Kennedy has just been coming along lately. They had their little setbacks, and now they're just really playing. I think last week you can say was the closest thing for them to play a breakout complete ball game, despite how the game went. I mean, this was the Kennedy team we wanted to see all year long, and they played outstanding. Over 50 points, made critical stops. I mean, great on special teams as well. In all cylinders, that they played very well. You know, I know one thing. This is going to be a 4-quarter game. This is definitely going down to the wire. Kennedy has a great shot of winning this game, but I said this at the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna stick into this. This Shaw team has a great chance to win the whole thing this year. It's a great chance for them to do it. I'm going with the Archbishop Shaw Eagles.
George Peppers.
Since week 3, where Rummel handled Shaw, the megaphone, Shaw has not been pushed at all. Every game since then, one of those wins was Lafayette Christian. Oh, by the way, they're playing this week. So, how does Shaw react in a 4 quarter game that Kennedy has capability um, of pushing into this 4th quarter? And how does Shaw react? How does
Wasn't that
Shaw
many? Wasn't that
slow
many this
down this
time?
Kennedy offense?
1 second, George. Hold on. I'm sorry,
No,
Kenny.
I okay.
Wasn't that many as Dave had? Be honest with you. Wasn't that many? Go ahead, George.
With that said, wait, Lockhart, who just got fired?
Look,
Okay.
Hayden and Jordan, they having like a they're having fun right now. Just go ahead.
No, I
Go
get it.
ahead.
I feel that I'm just seeing just got fired. I'm like, okay, what's this? Anyway, Shaw has the type of team that won't stop Kennedy, but can neutralize their offense, keep them off the field. Jasper Parker is in that backfield. Last I checked, he's pretty good. Division 1 recruit, Division 1 commit to Michigan. Thank you. Um, I got 2 Shaw guys going to Michigan next year, and they'll finally have an offense next year. Not this week though. Dreading Saturday against Ohio State. Just so you know. And Hang Ten has been here before, done that. He'll feast on this Kennedy team. I think they'll slow him down enough. Shaw, I'll give you a score 35-24. Shaw.
All right. 35-24. Double digit win.
Yep.
All right. He remembers me telling him pregame week 4, Shaw hadn't figured it out yet. But he figured out that game for sure. It hasn't lost since then. Yeah, the LCA game. All right, guys. The next one. What's up, Shelby? Shelby, where you was at, man? The first thing we talked about was the touchdown pass against Hornville. That was incomplete. Where you was at? Shaw didn't have their best corner last year. That was some better corners to me, in my opinion, than what they had last year. To me, Cardell and Dallas corners, I, I, I think they were better than what they have this year, in my opinion. My opinion, but Alan Shaw has been amazing. He's been amazing, and 13, he's done well also. So, but here we go. Madison Prep and Estruma is the next matchup. Give me Madison Prep. Who you got, VK?
I think, I ain't gonna lie. I tell you one thing, we've seen a little bit of sloppiness for Strum in the second half, but Strum is very, very talented. I
Of
think,
course, Jordan.
I think Sid Edwards is gonna really have him ready to play. Expect, don't be surprised this game will be close for a half because I tell you, Struma has some good size, but at the same time, Madison Prep will have a huge second half, and they'll pull away to get it done. Give me the Chargers.
That's right. Kristen Langford, Josh Collins. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, George Peppers.
And Shelby, thank you for the friend request. Yeah, we accepted a friend request from him on the book earlier. Um, I won't take long. Estruma was too sloppy in the second half. They can't do that this week. Much better opponent, with all due respect. Madison Prep has been on the come up since early in the year. They've really started to hit their stride. I think Madison Prep gets it done here and sets up a potentially tantalizing semi against Shaw.
All right. Edie White versus Vanderbilt Catholic. This is going to be another close ball game going down to the wire, but the Cardinals, Edie White will pull it out again. Edie White.
Close. I think this one will go down to the wire more than anything else. Because of the fact of this rematch and everything, Vanderbilt is going to give Ed White all the hell they can get. Wouldn't be surprised they have a chance to win it, but I think the Cardinals will wind up getting that win. Ed White to the semis.
George.
George.
I took Vanderbilt the first time. And they gave Edie White a lot of heck, but that was at Vanderbilt. Now Vanderbilt makes the short trip to Edie White. Um, I don't think I think Edie White gets it done. I think the Cardinals feel like a team that's destined to get to New Orleans, and the bracket has really opened up with the absence of University Lab. I think the bracket has opened up and given them a great chance to get to New Orleans. They take another step. Close game, but they win. Edie White over Vanderbilt is my pick.
All right, and we have Leesville hosting Booker T. Washington. Shout out to Booker T. Washington for getting to the quarters. But man, I think Leesville gets the win and moves on to the semis. VK.
And I found out a little bit of history. I think it is actually the first time ever that Booker T has been in the quarterfinals.
Correct.
First time ever. So congratulations to them. I think Coach Wayne Reese will have them ready to play, ready to go. But I think is it Xavier Ford and Leesville is going to get it done. They'll pull away in the second half and get the win. I would love to see Booker T really give it all they got, and make it a fight for at least a half. If they do, it'll be interesting. But I think Leesville will pull away and win.
All right, George.
Hmm. I hope Booker T gives them what hurts Booker T Washington is the bye week. Because Leesville, I mean, they're the fresher team, but it hurts them that they didn't have game action last week, and especially in a playoff setting when you got to have that in. I just think there's too much Xavier Ford and too much power on that Leesville O line, and they're going to dominate this game. Wayne Reese Jr., tip of the hat to you, man. Tip of the hat to you and that program for getting to this point. Don't listen to the haters that say, "Oh, you got there because university did this." That's not your fault. You're here, they're not. That's on them. Tip of the hat to you guys. I think the road ends here, guys. I think Leesville gets it done.
All right, we're gonna move on to Division 1 non-select, and let's start off with it. Neville hosting Chalmette. Does the Cinderella story of Chalmette continues? No. Neville Tigers to the semis. George Peppers.
Oh, me? Okay, I go
Well,
first.
I meant VK. I meant VK. I'm sorry.
Okay. Let the birthday man go first.
Yeah.
Well, I think don't get me wrong. I think Jason Tucker and his squad is going to be ready to play. They're going to be ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised they might have a very good start to the ball game, but once Neville settles down, the Neville Tigers will take charge. I will take the Neville Tigers.
I said this earlier in the show, and it bears repeating. To the Chalmette Owls and to their football team and their fans, you have nothing to apologize for. Don't listen to all those people that said you got here because of a bad official. You're here. You belong here. You're
Yes.
going to Neville,
Yes.
and you're going to give a good account of yourself. I, you
And
know,
Bernard Paris on that road, they coming. They coming.
yeah, they gonna roll. They rolling their way to the University of Neville, right? I mean, that stadium is a top flight stadium. Um, I just, Chalmette's defied the odds twice. Can they do it again? It's a different animal than those teams in the river parishes. Much different. Too much power, too much strength. I think Neville feels like a team that's really made an announcement this year. It continues Friday night. They win. Neville.
All right. West Monroe traveling to Central Baton Rouge. Does the run continue for West Monroe because they're 21 seed, or does Central Baton Rouge ends their run? Give me Central. I got Central VK.
I gotta agree with you on that. West Monroe, a very good run by them to get to the quarterfinals. Mandeville, that Nate Shepard injury proved too much now in that second round. And for West Monroe to get there, it's a good feat for them. But I think Central very, very seasoned and they're hungry. I like the Central Wildcats. Coach Seminole to get to the state semis.
Okay. George.
I got into this game thinking, JB, you were going to go with the road team. I started anticipating where can I pull away. I thought you were going Rebels here. I really did because you sound convinced last week against Mandeville, but I understood why. Nate Shepard missing, huge miss, and it came to bear, did it not? Mandeville struggled all night. I don't think West Monroe is that team. Personally, Yes, they've won 2 playoff games against Parkway and against Mandeville. Central, Coach Semino, that's another lying in the weeds Baton Rouge team, VK, that has a chance to do some very special things. Unfortunately for them, if they win, they get Neville in the semi, and they have to go all the way to Monroe if the matchup happens. I'm going Central.
So that's Central across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on, we have Ruston versus Southside. Give me the defending state champs, the Ruston Bearcats, with the win. Give me Ruston.
I think Coach Curtis is gonna have Southside ready to go. Expect that being a hell of a game going into the fourth quarter, but I think the defending champs have a big pull away in the fourth and get it done. I'll take the Bearcats.
All right.
That was one of the more surprising wins, not surprising wins, surprising margins, that they shut Walker completely out, 47-0. Southside did. To me, I thought Walker was going to give them more of a fight, but they didn't. With that said, though, Ruston, the deeper they are, this is the defending champions in Division One. It's their title. Southside isn't that team to beat them. Ruston is my pick.
All right. Now, Destrehan on fire. Everybody pretty much healed except for Jace Thomas. Their starting safety. Jackson Fields is back at quarterback, but now they're going to play pretty much one of the top offenses in the state. But this team here, they've had struggles defensively. Can Airline put enough clamps on Destrehan to move to the semifinals? So who am I going with? Give me Destrehan moving on to the semis. Destrehan over Airline.
Looking at this ball game, you know, they always say that, Airline, best offense, one of the best offenses in the state of Louisiana. But defensively, but shockingly, what they did last week was shocking in itself. You can say a true complete performance for Airline. But I don't think that happens this week. I think it'll be close, but Destrehan is going to throw their best punch and knock Airline out. I'm taking Destrehan.
Kenny, even if Jabari Mack is injured, you got Philip Wright, Greg Wilford, Johnny Thiel. And Malachi Dabney been running the ball like crazy at running back.
Mhm.
I think they got enough to overcome that if he is injured and has to miss. Go ahead, George Peppers.
I'm a Destrehan believer. I believe in this team. I believe now. Remember, at the beginning of the year, they weren't that team. They had problems. Jackson Fields missed a handful of time. He's back. You mentioned Malachi Dabney and that receiving core. If Airline wants to go offense for offense, I think Destrehan keeps up. But Destrehan's defense, Airline's defense played their best game last week, but against that Westgate offense that turned out was a little handicap without Jabari Antoine. At the end of the day, they played their guts out, Airline did. And as much praise as I heaped on Airline last week, I'm not a hater, but I have Destrehan to the semifinals in my pre playoff picks. I'm not getting off. I'm a big fan of Marcus Scott in that group. I've got Destrehan winning, I say by 10.
Okay. You're watching on Twitter, hit that follow and like button. You're watching on Facebook, same thing. Hit the follow button, hit the like button. You're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. You are watching the Hash It Out Show. All right, guys, we are going to our last bracket, Division One, select, and here we go. Edna Carr, St. Thomas More, a matchup we've asked for quite some time now. Who will get the win? Them Cougars. Edna Carr with the win over St. Thomas More. Edna Carr goes to the semis for a second straight year. VK.
Yes. I think this is this game here. I gotta tell you, I mentioned about St. Thomas More getting back, very consistent in itself, but I gotta tell you, man, I'm gonna say it. A phrase I said earlier, I'm gonna say it again. St. Thomas More is not that team. They were fortunate to get the win against St. Augustine. Very fortunate. St.
Man,
Augustine,
fortunate they led the whole game, man. What you
no,
talking about?
fortunate because the fact is St. Aug makes the extra point and goes to overtime. I think the Purple Knights get the win because the way
Man.
the momentum was swinging, especially now, I ain't gonna lie, St. Augustine had missed opportunities earlier. They had a couple times it was inside the 10. So at the same time, yeah, they had missed opportunities. But for St. Aug to come back the way they did, they make the extra point and go to overtime. I think the Purple Knights would win in overtime more than anything else. But credit St. Thomas More for getting that block. But at the same time, I think they're not that team. I think Carr's on another level. They are on that mission. Give me Carr, name the number.
Oh, name your number.
Name the
Whoa,
number.
man.
Name the number.
Over
You
STM, name your number.
look at the wins for Carr in big showdown games. It has not been close.
Let me ask you a question. Did you say name your number against Jesuit?
That's Jesuit, who's been tough against everybody this year. What about Rummel? Look at the score of that game in a
Could
district championship
could
battle.
could Jesuit beat STM?
Is Jesuit still? Wait.
No.
No,
I
they're
don't mean
gone.
Jesuit out the playoffs.
Rephrase the
But
question.
I'm asking you, do
Rephrase
you
the question.
think
I'm sorry.
Jesuit could beat STM?
Could Jesuit beat STM?
Yes.
Yes.
This year?
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. I'm being honest. Yes.
I appreciate your honesty. I
I'm
don't
not.
think they'll
It
beat
would
STM.
be a hell of a game. It'd be a hell of a game. But I think Jesuit will pull it out.
They were leading Turlins, and Turlins came back and won. But
10.
man, name your number. Man, Jesus. Yeah. Kenny, Ty Fraser for tonight. They not that team, and name your number. Yeah. Austin. VK's birthday ran. It is his birthday tonight, everybody who's joining us. It is VK Jones' birthday. He said, name your number over STM, man. I think Carr defeats him, but I ain't saying name your number over a team that's
I'm like this,
good,
bro.
man.
I understand that, but bro, the matchup it don't look good.
Let me ask you a question right
It
quick.
just don't.
Okay. If St. Augustine would have played Edna Carr in the playoffs, does Edna Carr beat them big, or is the game closer than it was the first time they played this year?
I think it'll be a little bit closer. Just to be honest.
Okay.
It'll be a little closer.
That's all I wanted to know, George Peppers. Go ahead, George Peppers.
After all that, how do I follow that, sir? But I want my money back. All right, I'm kidding. 47. That's next year, Hayden.
It's okay. It's a mistake. It's okay.
That's good. No, that's good. That means God's going to he's going to get another year. That's good. Name your number. Oh, over a team that's won 4 of the last 5 state titles. Whew. I don't know about that. Name your number. I think Carr wins, but I don't know. Look, we've sang the praises of Etna Carr all year long. I do still stand by what I said earlier. The pressure will be more on Carr than STM because they are the favorite, and STM is the one stepping up, and nobody thinks they can win. How does Carr handle a team with the seasoning of STM? I think they're better, and I think ultimately talent wins out. John Johnson and company are going to make enough plays. I think this game is a touchdown, a touchdown spread to Carr. I think this is the closest test they're going to get until maybe next week, because that semifinal potentially could be interesting too. No, at all, Hayden, but I'm going to go with Carr.
All right. Oh man, yes indeed. Gary Swallow on Under the Lights, which you can see tomorrow at 8:30 on Facebook. Just if you're not a part of it, just search Under the Lights. It's gonna pop up, and you can see Jordan Taylor and his crew tomorrow night
Yeah, Gary Swallow, he calls them the University of Edna Carr. But moving along, Catholic of Baton Rouge against Rummel, rematch of last year's semis, and just like how JFK wants Shaw again, it's the same for Rummel. They want Catholic. They felt like they got robbed of a touchdown catch that was ruled incomplete. They want Catholic of Baton Rouge. Who is getting the win? I picked Catholic to go to the semis, and I'm sticking with them. Catholic of Baton Rouge over the Rummel Raiders. VK, your turn.
I think this is going to be interesting. And so, like we mentioned, it's they have been going at it in the last couple of years. It's been a great playoff game, great games with Catholic and the Archbishop Raiders. Um, you know, last season was something else with that game happening 2 days. A lot of things went on and all that stuff and everything in that game last season. Catholic has really been coming along, but those Rummel seniors remembered what happened last year. Those Rummel seniors wanted this game and then they got it now. I think redemption comes to Rummel. Rummel goes to Memorial and they get it done. They get payback. They get to the state semifinals. Give me the Rummel Raiders.
George Peppers.
Catholic into my semifinal pre-playoffs, as you did, Jaron. You and I both had Catholic into the semifinal. But I brought this up earlier, and I'll bring it up for those that are just joining us. Rummel was arguably robbed. The fact that they had to go back on a Saturday morning, and they had a touchdown wrongfully taken away. That would have put them in the lead, I think, or would have tied that game up. I don't remember the situation off top, but they arguably could have won that game. And what did Catholic do after that? They dominated state title against Acadiana, right? They dropped, what did they drop? 55, I think, on them, or something like that.
It was a lot.
So,
It was a lot.
yeah, a ton. There's a scoreboard operator plenty busy in the dome. I don't want to get off, but I'm not going to. Give me the Bears in a very close ball game. Rummel's a little BK, and I talked to Emmanuel about this because he and I always discuss prep games. That's a banged up football team going to Baton Rouge. If they were completely healthy, I'm with you. But they're a little too. I'm going with the Bears at home.
That I understand that, but it doesn't matter. We have seen in the past, Rummel had some banged up teams and some tough playoff games, and they wound up winning.
They did.
So I'm going with I'm going with a narrative that it's payback time, and they don't want to get robbed this time. So I'm just gonna go with that. But the injury bug is a factor for Rummel. You are right about that.
All right. Bottom side of the bracket. Acadiana was my team to get to the semifinals also.
Me too.
That's not happening. Yeah,
Nope.
that's not happening.
They don't turn their uniforms in.
Yep, John Curtis went up there and proved everybody wrong. Even my man Anthony Maurice Smith, who plays with John Curtis. But it's Curtis against Turlings. Guess what? Curtis was the only team last week from New Orleans who went to Lafayette and got a win. Because all lost, Jesuit lost, St. Martin's lost. Curtis won. And they're going to do it again. They will defeat Turlings Catholic, John Curtis, to the semifinals. VK.
I know Turlings has been so much on a mission this year, and they had to overcome some things against a very good Jesuit team. The Jesuit had to lead, and for Turlings Catholic to really caught on fire in the fourth quarter to win that ball game. I really like this Turlings Catholic team, but we've seen this before from a John Curtis team like this. We've seen this before. We've seen this movie. And we're going to continue to see it again. JT Curtis is going to do it again. But John Curtis, as they will get to the semifinals.
GP.
Trying to collect my thoughts here because I swore you were going the home team. I swore you were going TC. But I think you learned your lesson because two great sports writers that we all know, Bill Baumgartner and Ted Lewis, they used to pick the games in the old times. Mickey, you used to always write the unwritten rule in spots like this: never, never, never pick against John Curtis. This is one of those spots. And Dane Chapontier, you've done a marvelous job with that Turlings Catholic team, but they're still young. You know what I've seen the last few weeks though? John Curtis's offense has found an identity. It looks like they found an identity, and I think they're going to do they're going to do just enough to win a very tight ball game. Give me the Patriots to go to the semifinals next week.
All right. Last one. C.E. Bird traveling down, not too far, to take on Alexandria. Who gets the win? Alexandria to the semis. Give me Ash. VK.
Well, gotta agree with Jared on that one. Bird has had a very nice year, very nice comeback year, more than anything else for them to get to the quarterfinals. They'll be ready to play, but I think Ash is on a mission, so give me Alexandria.
Thomas Bachman is a very good coach. Has won a lot for Alexandria. Bird, that was a dominant win last week, and the North Shore did not have a good week last week. Covington, um, who
Mandeville.
went out? Mandeville went out.
Let
You
me.
know, teams out of that district went out. St. Paul's all went out. Who's left standing? Oh, the
John Paul.
24 seed. Said Pope John Paul. I'm talking about the teams out that district. Pope John Paul's not in that
Oh,
district.
oh, you on the district. I'm just saying North Shore
Yeah.
team.
Well, yeah, I get in general. PJP went out too.
Mhm.
Lakeshore Franklinton did win, so they're playing each other. But I'm focusing on the district because the last team standing is the Chalmette Owls. And raise your hand if you'd have thought that was the last team standing coming into these playoffs. You can't. With that said,
Oh, they did win the district.
oh, Chalmette, yeah, they did. But
Mhm.
did you think at a 24 seed that they would knock off Terrebonne, knock off Hahnville on the road back to back? No, no. I'm going to go with Ash. I think Alexandria. How about that semifinal if it happens? Alexandria and John Curtis.
Woo!
Man, JT Curtis a step away from the dome against a young, hungry Thomas Bachman coach team. Holy mackerel, that will be a storyline to tell next week. And Ash, best believe it'll be SRO if that matchup happens, standing room only. Best believe it'll be standing room only. Ash wins this week, though.
All right. And those are our picks, ladies and gentlemen. Couple things to announce. You can all watch Under the Lights tomorrow at 8:30. Our good friends Under the Lights will have their show. You see that on Facebook. Tomorrow, we will not have a show tomorrow. We're gonna be doing other things, giving my guys here a little break for all their hard work and their dedication. I tomorrow night will be on the 10:08 Prep Sports Show at 9:30 with Courtney Hogan. He wants to talk Shaw and Kennedy. We did it last year, talked Shaw and Kennedy, and he wants to do it again. So we're gonna talk Shaw and Kennedy on 10:08 Prep Sports that you can see on Instagram at 9:30. So you got Under the Lights at 8:30, and you got 10:08 Prep Sports 1008 Prep TV Sports at 9:30 on Instagram. So you can watch both at the same time. Trust me, you can do it. Um, Friday night, the Hash It Out Show game of the week, that is South Plaquemines against Mangum. So, like I said, pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock. You can watch it right here on YouTube. And that is JB the Sports Guide, the YouTube page of JB the Sports Guide. Other games, our good friend Under the Lights, they have Vermilion Catholic against St. Edmunds
Mm-hmm.
on their Facebook page. So got a bunch of games you all can see. Um, Let me see. We got a couple more stuff in the chats. So I want to see what we got before I do the last words. Chat was popping again tonight. Jordan Taylor would love to see Carr ask to kick off a Saturday. Yeah, since Saturday's only 2 games now. Yeah, you're right with that. In the hyper, if Chalmette beats Neville, they're winning the championship. I think some people would swing their way if they would have beaten Neville. I'm telling you, that happens. People will swing their way like, hey, Chalmette coming, and they gonna get the win. Jordan Taylor says, well, way to go. There it is. See, the chat's still popping. He says, come see us giving hating hell tomorrow. GP for not believing in Bunky. Hating
His
not believing
bad.
in Bunky.
Hayden, I know you're here. His bad.
Oh man.
Mhm.
Troy say we'll be watching. Thank you, Troy. They can give me hell while I bask in beating all of them. I hear you, man. I hear you, Hayden. I hear you. In the hyper, I'm a Bell Chase guy, but I have a buddy that is in South Plaque's band. So it's gonna be hard to pick against South Plaque, but I gotta stay with Paris family. See, that's one thing about Bell Chase and South Plaque. They all know each other. It's a big time rivalry. They hate each other for 1 week. After that, it's all good. That's one thing about that Plaquemines Paris. Yes, Kenny. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And also, dang, don't eat too much turkey, VK. God dang. Well, look, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you all. Also, have a great time with your friends and your family. Thank you, Hayden. Thank you. Yeah. You know, I text him. He texts me back. We're gonna get him on. Trust me, because I do want him to explain his side of the story about how they were taking out the playoffs. So it's all good. Got to be able to make adjustments. Got to make moves when things happen like this. But yeah, definitely happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you all who are here watching the show with us, and everybody out there. Happy Thanksgiving. VK, you got any last words before we go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Thank y'all so much for y'all support of the Hash Out Show and the Hash Out Show Game of the Week. Last week we got a huge viewership from Thursday with over 1,600 views to Friday to over about 2,000. So we almost equal to the total of our biggest game of the year,
We're growing, baby.
Warren Easton and Kennedy. So, thank y'all so much for the support. Thank you.
Oh my God,
It's the
Jordan
bottom
Taylor.
now.
Oh
Yes, I guess
man,
you're gonna be on it, but
boy, right
I
there.
I appreciate the birthday wishes and everything. Down there is my Cash App, $ VK Jones 46. That's VK Jones. That's our $ VK Jones 46 on my Cash App. If you want to bless me with something, if not, your wishes is enough. But it's been a blessing, man. It's been great to really continue to flourish in my career and in my life and all that stuff. And Lord said the same. Hopefully, I'll live to see 47, man. I got a lot going on with this here, and also with coaching basketball now and other media things and stuff, man. Things are going on up and up, but keep a brother in prayer, man. Nothing ain't easy, man. It's nothing easy, especially in this journey. So appreciate it, guys, and also happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Be safe over the weekend, please.
George Peppers.
Name the number was a popular phrase tonight, right? I think
Yeah,
the name the number the safest.
yeah.
I know.
Name
I'm
them,
not
and
talking
they're
football
not
now.
that team,
Name the
and they're not
number.
that team.
Yeah, they're not that team. This isn't a football thing. Name that number is how many plates will be consumed on Thanksgiving Day. There's your name that number. But no, on a serious note, VK, again, happy birthday to you, my friend. I love you like a brother. I look forward to every Friday night to be with y'all and do games. And this is just fun for me, especially with the strenuous job that I have. This is a release for me to do ball games and be in that environment, especially now we're in the quarterfinal. Yes, indeed. Y'all have a great broadcast for night too. On the y'all do it. Y'all do a tremendous job. I can't wait. We can't have people make the good lunch anymore. 46. I guess I'm not going to judge your look or anything like that. I guess. Oh shoot. Sucks. All right, are y'all there? It's mother.
No, don't
All
you
right,
say
here
it.
we go.
What you saying?
Don't you say it.
I'm not. I'm not. I almost.
He didn't say it. He didn't say it. Oh Lord.
Oops, the last time.
George, log out, log back in, man. Log out, log back in, George.
Log back, log out, log back.
Log
About
out,
to.
log back in, man. Gosh.
Man,
God.
something's up with his Wi-Fi. That's
Oh my God, that was the worst one yet.
he said GP got the bunker connection.
All right, let's get George back in here right quick, man. All right, George, go ahead.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice and wish VK a happy birthday, but I got that Timu internet, I guess. Or, yeah, I know. You're right, Jordan. I'm not going to start over because, and look, this has been a great show tonight. How you know about Burger King Wi-Fi, Kenny? Where's our steaks at? I mean, I'm going to keep reminding that. All right? I'm going to keep reminding you, sir. Where's our steaks at? Tell him, VK. That's your birthday present. We need them. We need porterhouse, ribeyes, New York strip. What's the steak of choice, sir? We got to pick it out pretty soon. With that said, we're in the quarterfinal week. Next to your question earlier about Tulane, the AAC championship is the next weekend.
It's next weekend. Next Friday, actually. Next Friday.
So how
We ain't going. We ain't. We got it. We got a game.
You know what? I give up.
All right. I'm sorry, George. I'm sorry, man. It's not working right now, George. It's not working. It's pretty bad right now, George. It's bad.
Timu Wi-Fi.
What's he?
Somebody sabotaging.
Timu Robo.
Woo!
Oh man, it's pretty bad right now. Look,
R2D2.
oh my God, GP blinking. Oh man, look, it's. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and end this show.
Wow.
Oh man, we see y'all Friday night on the Hash It Out Show. Game of the Week for George Peppers, for VK Jones. I am JB, the sports guy. Oh man, we're signing out. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you all. Y'all take care.
Okay.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
Thank you for watching the Hash It Out Show.